Welcome back to the Cincy Sports Scene Podcast, your home for everything Bengals, Reds, Bearcats, and FCC, plus the biggest stories across sports. Tonight, we're diving into the massive week. The Bengals, apparently they showed up on Monday Night Football. UC's had a big road win over Kansas in a wild Ryder Cup weekend. And of course, Reds playoff baseball is finally here. We'll also hit our quick hitters, test your sports brain with trivia, and possibly build out another of our Mount Rushmore of last names if time allows. So grab your drink, settle in, and let's talk Cincinnati sports. All right, and we're back here with episode number 147 of the Cincinnati Sports Scene Podcast. And I'm joined again by Sam, and we're just going to dive right into it, okay? Because it's a busy week, and, we might as well spend a little time here on the debacle that was Monday night in Denver. The Bengals, once again, opening drive had the 3 points on the opening drive, and then that's it. I mean, it was just horrible play all around. The question, there's a lot of questions. So I guess it's like, how can we fix it? Can we fix it? Or, how in the world did it get this bad so quick? Burrow does mask a lot of things, and we knew the defense was going to be bad, but we were hoping they'd be a little bit better. They're not. Yeah. Statistically, 18th coming into Monday against the run, so it wasn't bad. As far as what they did the first 3 games, but giving up a 100-yard rusher to the Broncos, who haven't had one since, 2022?
Since Sean Payton's been there. This is his first one.
Right. So, it's just, it's bad.
We seem to always be that team. We're a get-right team. Our defense has been for the last 2 years just a get-right team. I don't know how I do know how they fell off so quickly, but how the front office doesn't see it, how the coaching staff doesn't see it is beyond me. And I think it's evident just how much Joe Burrow was masking with this team last year. It's pretty much the same roster, a couple minor tweaks here and there, but it's largely the same roster. And this team is bad. Without Joe Burrow last year, that's a 2-win team, maybe. It's bad. So we know how good he is, but the rest of the roster outside of him, Jamar, T, and Trey might be the worst roster in the NFL. They're bad everywhere.
Yeah, who is good other than those 3 or 4?
Right now, there's nobody on the team that I'm like, yeah, they have a spot next year.
Well, I
think they should all be playing for their jobs.
Yeah, definitely should be. And so then let's talk about that. Obviously, they got the Lions coming into town on Sunday. It's going to be horrible. They're going to run all over us. And then there's going to be people out there who are going to come out of the woodwork saying, see, we should have got Penei Sewell instead of Jamar Chase.
That doesn't help. It wouldn't matter.
I think Chase has proved his worth. I think Burrow wanted Chase, and because he thought that we could get a couple of tackles, in which we did eventually. But I don't know if you saw that one clip. It was going around Twitter, and it might have been on NFL Live or something. But whoever drew up this pass protection for Jake Browning, Denver rushed 3.
Yeah.
We had 4 guys blocking 1 guy.
And both the ends went around the tackles. Yeah.
Right. And it's like, what happened? I don't know. It's getting to the point where do you trade Trey Hendrickson here in the next 2 weeks try to get
we talked about
you're not getting a first round draft choice.
Yeah.
You're not getting a first round pick for him. So if somebody offered you a second round, you jump all over that right now because you're not getting anything for Trey's not coming back next year. He's going to be fed up with this. He's like, I am not coming back next year. I'll go and sack Burrow 6 times if I'm playing against him because I know I can get around.
Right. You don't think the Ravens or the Steelers will be chopping at the bit to bring him in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Trade him now to, Seattle. You don't have to worry about him because I'm sure, whatever team is going to trade him will end up
trying to sign him.
Yeah. They're not going to trade him not to do that. So there will be discussions, beforehand. But yeah, I'd have traded him on Monday as soon as the game ended. Shit, I might have traded him at halftime. And I'd have left Zach Taylor in Denver. Told him he can find his own way back. He can call up Uncle Danny and have him drive him back or something. But Danny probably didn't drive him back. He'd tell him you can find your own.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's not Zach Taylor anymore. It's Zach Shula. I mean, because you weren't alive for the Shula era, and that was, that was kind of bad as well.
Zach, what was it? He's 4-23-1 without Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Come on.
He might be more than 4 because
I don't think so. He won one game his first year coaching, or did they win 2? Well, I think it was since Joe Burrow has been when he went out injured.
Because they won a game.
They won one game Burrow's rookie year when he got hurt.
Yeah.
Without him.
Right.
And then I think they only won 3 last year.
Yeah, but he got hurt. Wasn't he hurt? That was 2 years ago that they won. They won 4 2 years ago because Jake Browning's 4-3 as a starter.
No, it was a 4.
He was 4-3 as a starter.
He's like 5-23-1 or something.
Yeah, something like that. But anyhow, it's bad. It's bad. And now, my thing is, and we said on this podcast a couple of weeks ago that this is, we wanted to see Zach and his play calling ability. And, is he still, it looks to me that he's still trying to run Burrow's favorite things with Browning. And, I know it's like, well, the playbook's this, and we're going to do that because you cater the playbook to Burrow, which of course you want to, but that's not Jake Browning's strong suit. His strong suit is play action, bootleg, get outside the pocket, throw on the run, those type of things, and not shotgun and, 3-step drops and heave it up there. I don't know. I mean, I just am baffled. I guess what really frustrates me as a former coach is the last 2 games. And I know they've been on roads, and I know winning on the road in the NFL is difficult, but it's how unprepared we looked from start to finish. Where 2 weeks ago we made the excuses, it was 5 fumbles. We can't fumble the ball. You can't win a game like that. Okay. Now it's 11 penalties because, 11 penalties, 8 first downs. And it's like, well, you can't, we shot ourselves in the foot. We got to clean that mess up. Well, some of those penalties should have been cleaned up in training camp. That's what you work the training camp for and I don't know. I mean,
they had 3 false starts. They had a misalignment. I mean, I will say the one false start on Karras was
bad. That was bad.
That was awful.
And that, really shifted the momentum.
It really did. That and the fair catch interference call. The rules analyst, whatever his name is, was like, no, I agree with that call. It's good. You have to let them make the catch. Not if they bobble it twice. He bobbled it twice. Like, yeah, you should get the opportunity to make the fair catch, but the second you don't, it should be fair game.
Right.
Otherwise, you can't muff a punt then. You got to give them the opportunity to catch it, right? It's the same as a drop. Just because the drop went up instead of down, it's different. That makes no sense. That's a stupid rule. Yeah, but whatever. It's not like it would have changed anything. They probably just kicked a field goal and lost 28-6. It's not like it makes a big difference.
Right. I mean, so Trey Hendrickson's gone. Anybody else? I mean, as far as trade, nobody, they're not going to trade for anybody other than Trey, right?
No, nobody else has any value.
Right. I mean, Burrow is injured.
Trade T, but
you just signed T, right?
Right. There's no reason to do that. You already, you went all
unless you blow everything up and start over.
Which I'm not opposed to, but that starts with getting rid of the head coach too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You blow everything up. Bring in,
and that includes getting an actual football guy in the freaking building for once in your freaking lives. Katie Blackburn, Mike Brown. Okay, get somebody in who's not some nerd lawyer, some nepo baby. Actually, get somebody in who knows football and knows what they're doing, and let them handle that. You can still be penny pinchers, all right? You can still be a penny pincher all you want. Just get a football guy in there and get double-digit scouts, please.
Yes, because the last couple of years, Duke Tobin, I know he's been a almost a member of the Brown family here. His draft picks 2 through 5, last 3 or 4 years have been garbage.
Both of last year's third-round picks have been healthy scratches every game this year.
Yeah.
That's awful.
So
Any other franchise?
Trade Burton, you might get a 7th-round pick for. You might.
You might get a conditional 7th. Like, hey, he's got to show up to practice on time.
Yeah. Because he has talent, obviously. He has a lot of talent. He proved that in college, but he just got to, he's got to do some things, and it is what it is. So, as we move forward, we've got the Lions and the Bears, oh my, right? Lions, Tigers, and Bears, oh my. And I guess the thing that's so dang frustrating is the fact that the Ravens are
1-3.
They're not they're like, oh my gosh, their
defense is awful.
Lamar is now tweaked his hamstring, and hamstrings, especially with speed guys,
that lingers.
Lingers, and he might not be able to give that burst out of the pocket, right? I mean, the AFC North, was wide open for us to take. I mean, we were 2-0. Everybody else had at least one loss at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland had 2, and now we just came back. Pittsburgh is just like, we've got this division.
Yeah, I mean, they've wrapped it up.
Yeah, I mean,
we can kind of call this division. I think Pittsburgh's going to end up winning it.
Yeah, a couple of little minor headlines. Apparently the Bengals did call the Giants, or the Giants called the Bengals, and there were discussions Tuesday about Jameis Winston and or Russell Wilson for a draft pick, right? I don't know. I would love to see Jameis.
Yeah,
I do not want to see Russell.
No, absolutely not.
But the Bengals will go Russell to say he played in the AFC North. He knows what it's about. And no, you
because he threw for 400 yards against us.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the only time he threw more than 150 yards, I think, in a game, or 200 yards in a game. It was against us. And I would like to see Jameis. We've got the 2 weapons.
Exactly.
Send him down the field. Let him
at
throw.
Least with Jameis, we'll probably still lose, but it'll be an entertaining loss.
Right.
I mean, Russell Wilson, it'll just be more Jake Browning, except Russell Wilson, the cornball, and all his teammates are going to hate him. So,
Yep. And Russell.
There's no reason for Russell Wilson to
he'll want his own private plane, sort of like Aaron Rodgers and LeBron James, and the Browns are going to be like, private plane?
Yeah,
fly
Browns don't have a private plane, for crying out loud.
Get on back here, man. We fly coach. We don't even have a gator to take you into the locker room because Mike Brown's on it all the time.
Exactly. Maybe we'll find you a Cessna somewhere down at Lunkin that's been abandoned. Yeah.
Well, that's enough of that. I mean, I'm to the point where, I will have the game on, but I'm not going to be glued to it like I was week 1. I've got other things to do now. It's like, well, the weather's turning a little bit, leaves are falling, have to rake, sit around the fire pit, cook food over the fire on a Sunday afternoon, have the game on out on the deck, and I'm not gonna waste my time on this franchise that can't figure it out.
They don't care about winning, so why should we care if they win?
They hang their hat on Burrow, and when Burrow goes down, I don't want to trade Joe Burrow, but we got to either invest in an offensive line that gives him time, or get rid of him because he's been injured, 4 out of the 6 years? Yeah. 3 out of the 6 years? He's been lost for the season for, yeah. One was a knee, one was that wrist, and the other was a turf toe. 2 of them were fluke. Yeah. And then you had the appendicitis.
Yeah, this strained calf in training camp.
Yeah. And it's just
he is injury prone.
He is.
People forget the reason he transferred to LSU is because he didn't win the starting quarterback job because he broke his hand in their spring camp at Ohio State. He was going to be the starter until he got hurt.
Yep. So, if you're going to blow it up and you're bringing in a football guy that, I love to see.
That's my main stick. If they're going to blow it up, do it right. Don't do it the Bengals way. Otherwise, just keep what you got and maybe you'll luck into something.
Yeah.
If you're going to blow it up, do it correctly.
Yeah. Or, if you get rid of the entire coaching staff, new coach comes in, let him hire his men, get more, let him hire some scouts, football people in there, a real GM, not Duke,
right.
A real GM. And then if he wants to keep Burrow, fine. Then invest in that offensive line, invest in the defensive line, and then let's see what we have. I mean, CTB, Cam Taylor-Britt, sorry. I mean, you should not see the field.
He's done. He's gone.
Anymore. I mean, it was bad. I mean, I only watched until the Broncos went up 21-3 on us right before half, and I'm like, I can't watch CTB anymore. I mean, I know that he got yanked after the juke. That was just looked like something on the playground.
He got juked out by a 6'4" receiver who's not known for doing that. I mean, right. Pathetic.
Just bad. Just bad. All right, let's move on. Well, I did hear people are now talking about fire Zach and talking about people replacing him. John Gruden's name's been out there. We threw that out there. Other people are picking that up. And another person who they said they would love to see is what's his name? He was Burrow's OC. Joe Brady.
Yeah.
Which, hey, if you're going to go offensive-minded guy, Jesse Minter was one who said they should say, you know what, if you want to go defense, bring in Jesse Minter, bring in a great offensive coordinator, and you guys
can go that route. Yeah,
you could go that route. So that's sort of like what Marvin was, right? But Zach Taylor needs to give up play calling. He needs to focus on his head coaching duties, so that way plays can get in on time. He can talk to players that are coming off the field whining and complaining. He can go down to the officials and get in their ear all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, he's trying to call a play in and manage. No, you cannot do that. You have to give up play calling duties. Pritchard has to do it. Let him do it. You're coaching for your life, Zach. You got to do something different. You can't do the same thing and expect different results. They can, but that'd be insanity.
Yeah, well.
All right, let's move on to some more, little blah, a tie. FC Cincy 2-2, gave up a late goal there. Thoughts on FC's tie?
Yeah, I mean, it's 2-2. I think they gave up the tying goal in like the 96th minute or something like that. It's kind of right at the end of the game, which sucks. It effectively takes them out of the race for the supporter shield and have a real hard time getting it at this point. I mean, it's all right. It is what it is. They're still in the 2 spot in the East, so I mean they're in a good playoff position. Who do they have next? Is it Montreal or something like that? I think
something
next
like
or
that,
something.
Yeah.
So I mean they're no good. That can kind of be their get right game before the playoffs start. In theory, I'm not too worried about it. It does suck to give up that last minute goal, but just kind of a side note, MLS is kind of added time. I'm sick and tired of seeing these 9-10 minutes being added to the end of the game. It's insanely excessive. Most places it's 4 to 5.
Right.
Unless you have like a legitimate injury, type of deal where you have to really pause the game. Yeah, I guess they're taking the every second counts a little too seriously. But I mean, to MLS's credit, they've been doing that for a couple of years now. But it's just annoying.
Well, you got to get that extra TV revenue from Apple, I guess, and on commercials and all that good stuff. But
there's no commercials during the soccer game, so.
Well, that is true.
So, yeah, I mean, if anything, it's taken away from commercials.
So much I watch soccer on TV. So,
yeah.
About as much as I'm going to be watching the Bengals. Positive note now, we're spinning it around. We went from negativity to we're a little upbeat here. UC football 4-0 on the year.
No.
Went into Kansas.
They lost to Nebraska.
Oh, I'm sorry, 3-1. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the first game of the year. They should have won that game. But 3-1 on the year, and they're heading into Big 12 play. Got their first victory. Went into Kansas. Played pretty well. Had to come back. Score at the end there to win the ball game. Sorsby had he was the number 1 rated quarterback this week and week 4. Things are looking up.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that's a game the last 2 years they lose 100%.
So is that a statement? Is that a statement win for UC, or is it just a good victory?
It's a good victory. It's a step in the right direction. I don't think you can have a statement win against Kansas. I know Kansas has improved, but you kind of have to beat
Iowa State this week.
Yeah. beat someone who's been at the top of the conference for a while now. So in Iowa State, I mean, that's really it as far as the Big 12 goes because of all the movement they've had. In Iowa State, Kansas State, normally you would say Kansas State, but they're not any good this year. TCU would be a statement type win. Yeah, I mean, if they can beat Iowa State, I mean, that's a statement win. That's hey, UC's here to win the Big 12. What that type of win can do for you.
Right.
It just gives, the players all the confidence too. Like, yeah, we can actually do this.
And they did it without, the Godfather, Corleone. He was out. And I don't know if he's apparently going to come back. At least they're hoping he'll be back next week or this week against Iowa State. They need him. Stop the run game. Help stop the run game. But I don't know. I mean, UC's looking better. And, we just can't lay an egg on Saturday. We have to, even though it's another noon game, we have to be able to get out there and make it a very competitive game for 4 quarters, not just 2 quarters and then halftime come out and just get blitzed.
Yeah.
So the last thing we'll talk about in our quick hitters, I know it hasn't been real quick, but the Ryder Cup this past weekend, it was before Sunday tee times. I was like, well, this could be the worst defeat in Ryder Cup history.
Shaping up that way.
It was shaping up that way after, Friday, Saturday round. But the United States, I was telling Benj, I go, it's not over. The United States plays so much better singles matches than they do team competition. And it showed. The first 3 guys went out, did what they were supposed to do. We got that one tie, and then Oberg, got a point for him that put it at 13.5, and then Lowry wins Birdie's 18.
Birdie's 18 to tie the match. And
and they win the Ryder Cup. So, my questions are a couple. It's like, does the U.S. need to rethink how they play? I mean, I know what's wrong with us as far as when we play 4-ball and foursome. What's your take on it?
Well, so for me, it's a couple things. Main thing, Europe, 11 of the 12 guys were on the team last year. The one new guy, his brother was on the team. They invited him to Rome, so he was still around the guys there. The U.S., I know the qualifying for both, teams is the same, top 6 and then 6 captains picks. But, there's very little continuity, and it hurts them. As far as, like, when they get into the team thing, I saw, Scheffler played all 5 matches, so he had the 4 team. The Europeans were they were 33 under.
Yeah.
Against Scheffler. Like, you can't do anything about that. If they're shooting 33 under, you're just toast. But that goes on Keegan Bradley and how they set up the course.
Right.
The rough was insanely short.
Mm-hmm.
As far as who that benefits, outside of Bryson on the U.S., that benefits Team Europe. All those dudes over there just bomb the ball. And so, who cares if you're in the rough? And so, that hurt them big time, I think. I think that was the biggest factor.
And then the rain, they weren't counting on the rain either. They were hoping the greens were faster.
The greens were not.
And the
greens were soft. If dudes are getting 10 feet of backspin out of the rough.
Yeah. And Europe was firing at the flags.
Yeah.
All weekend long. All weekend long. Justin Rose and Tommy Fleetwood.
I don't think Justin Rose missed a putt. I don't think he missed
one. My gosh. It was
he
just
was thinking everything.
Those guys, United States hit a good shot. Fleetwood hits it 3 feet from the hole.
Right, he hits
United States 12 feet from the hole, 3 feet from the hole.
Or U.S. is 12 feet, Europe's 9 feet, but they're on the same line. Yep. U.S. misses the putt by a couple inches. Team Europe gets it right there. They got the perfect read.
Exactly.
And so, there was a little bit of unluckiness to it. I saw some of this floating around. I don't know how true it is. I don't know that I believe it, but I think the Europeans care more about it than the U.S. does.
Yeah, they do.
From a fans and a team standpoint. And you think about it, the U.S. also plays the President's Cup. So they're in these international things every year. It can get a bit tiring for the guys. You don't have that that off season, that off year where you have the itch to do it, because you're playing in the President's Cup now.
Well, it shifted, right? When Jack and Tom Watson, Arnold, Lee Trevino, all those guys that were playing in the 70s, Fuzzy Zeller, they dominated. They wanted to dominate.
Yeah.
It wasn't until Seve Ballesteros came on board, really, and really strove for perfection in the Ryder Cup, right? They, playing for country, playing for pride, playing for this. And the Europeans bought into that. And they enjoy playing with each other. I mean, I don't know if Rose and Fleetwood banging heads together.
Yeah.
You don't see that out of the American. The Americans are selfish. We don't like to play team sports in golf, right? Because growing up, we don't play in any type of stuff like this. It's all individual scores. It's you're playing on a golf team, but it's your individual score. It's not. Yeah, you might play a match play in like the junior, junior nationals or things like amateurs. Yeah, you play match play, but it's not. But it's still a stroke play event. It's not the four ball or the foursomes. When you go over to England and Scotland, the afternoons, if you got a tee time in the afternoons, they expect you to go play four ball. That's what they expect you to do. Mm-hmm. And you go out and you're playing, four ball or foursomes, I should say, alternate shot. So they grow up playing that. They grow up learning how to play other people's bad shots, and they don't get upset when somebody hits a bad shot, puts them in a bad position, and they use their creativity and create these shots that you're like going, how in the world? And then the United States gets put in a little rough and we can't get it close, where Europe is behind a tree and they somehow hook it around and it goes onto the green 2 feet from the hole, right? I mean, it's just, I don't know. Now if they would have came back and won, then we would have been talking about the debacle, the greatest loss of all time,
This whole,
it was close.
Hey, you can withdraw and still get half a point. Total BS. Total BS.
That needs to change. That needs to change.
Because if I was, hypothetically, if the next Ryder Cup, I'm the United States captain, I'm putting my best two players in that first group. We're winning that match, and then everybody else is injured the rest of the Ryder Cup. And I'm making a total mockery of it, an absolute mockery of it, because that's ridiculous. I slept on my neck a little funny. I can't go. Oh, there's a half point instead of 2.5 points. Now we just need 2 or whatever.
Right.
Whatever it was, a point and a half. They just whatever.
Whatever it was, yeah.
I mean that going in like that before you even start.
If you withdraw, you forfeit that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Simple as that.
You make what's his name go out and play 9 holes and post a score. I won 9 with 9 to go. Make him play a singles by himself.
Yeah. I mean, that rule can't be in place anymore. That's the dumbest thing.
I think they'll change it. Another
one, they're never going to change it, but it's the most European thing ever. It can end in a tie, and then whoever won it the last time retains. That's stupid. No. Get your best on best and go play until somebody wins. I mean, that's the most European thing ever. Yeah, and as Americans, how have we stood for this for so long? I know it didn't end up coming into play, but just the idea of this international competition, 3-day competition, can end in a tie, and we don't settle it on the golf course. There's nothing more European than that.
Yeah, but hey, when we have our Ryder Cup here in a couple of weeks, if it ends in a tie, we still get the trophies.
No, it's not going to end in a tie. So
no, it's not. It's not. No, it's not. All right. So, the other main thing about the Ryder Cup was the fan behavior. Yes, you want to, and I can't remember who it was who said it. It was, I don't know if it was an American or if it was a European person. It was, root for your team. Yes. Holler,
it
whistle.
Was Rory that said it.
Okay. Yeah. Root for you. And I agree with that. Root for your team. Don't overly heckle the opponents. Don't cross that line. Now, I will say that after the victory, some of their celebrations, it wasn't on the course, but after, where they were mocking our president and doing all this kind of stuff, that crossed the line. Rory yelling "F you" to the fans, that crossed the line. I know he was.
I'm fine with it. If they're giving it to him, he is perfectly allowed to give it back.
I'm okay with that too. I mean, but then don't come out and say,
don't cry.
We crossed the line. They crossed the line, right? No, yes, they crossed the line when somebody hit a beer out and it hit his wife. That crossed the line. Yes, fans saying stuff in their backswings, that's crossed the line. Heckle all they want.
It's still a golf tournament at the end of the day. You do have to
have some decorum out there on the course.
They mentioned it on the broadcast. If you're going to heckle them as they're, taking their practice swings or whatever, but when they approach the ball, we are still playing golf.
Right.
You need to shut up, let them hit the shot, and when they hit it in a bunker, then you cheer for it,
Right. It's like the waste management, right? On the 16th green there, where, it's rowdy, they're drunk. It's a great atmosphere because nowhere else besides the Ryder Cup do you have that kind of atmosphere. And when the pros hit their shot and it gets on the green and it's close to the pin, they're getting a big old applause. But if it's a bunker shot or it's not on the green or it's 30 feet past, they're getting booed. I mean, that's what it should be. It shouldn't be all these cursing at the players. Just because you had to pay an exuberant amount of money for a ticket, that does not give you the right to be a jerk.
And also get some creativity. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, be creative with your insults too, at least. Just the typical F you, that gets old. I mean, come on.
It does.
And something a little bit better than that.
Right.
I mean, that's the one thing that got to give the European fans credit for. They are good at those little songs that they do and the little chants that they come up with. You have to give them that. They're pretty good at that stuff.
Well, in 2 years, we'll be across the pond, as they say.
Yeah.
Win it back.
Also, Bethpage Black, you can't be selling drinks with squeaky ducks in it.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
What are you doing? Who greenlit that? That's stupid. I mean,
nobody
that's just asking for trouble.
Yeah, right.
No. This alcoholic beverage, nobody's going to drink a bunch of these.
If we charge $25, nobody's going to buy it. Yeah, right, sure. Yeah. Right. All right, let's move on.
Long Island in New York, where the most wealth in the country is. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and it's on Long Island or close to Long Island. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go to our trivia now. Last week we had 2 trivia questions. Sam got the first one. It was about the longest. I think it was the longest. No, what was it? Was it the longest head coach in football? Yeah,
in college football.
In college football, Mike Gundy was the second, and Kirk Friends was the first.
Oh, that's right, Iowa.
From Iowa. But then the other one was there was 4 players in the last 50 years that have played for the Cincinnati Reds that have won the MVP prior to playing for the Reds. Who are they? And you got 2. You said Junior and Dave Parker. The other 2 was Kevin Mitchell and Terry Pendleton. He played 60 games for the Reds in 96, somewhere around that, 94, something like that. 60 games for them. So those are those 4 there. Sam's got the question this week. If you think you know the answer, go ahead and drop it in the comments here on YouTube, or you can just shoot us an email at CincySportsScene@yahoo.com, or just leave us a message on Instagram or Twitter at Cincy Sports Scene. So go ahead, son, with your question.
Yeah, so I've got a little golf trivia just coming off the Ryder Cup here. So your trivia question is, who has the most PGA Tour wins without ever winning a major?
Let's see here. That would be, because it was, who was it? It was somebody just won a major. Shoffley, I think. I mean, he won it last year. Wouldn't be Ricky Fowler, would it?
It's not, no.
Current player, right? Or just all time?
No, this is all time. I can try and find the current one. That might be.
Oh, no, that's all right. All time.
Let me look this guy up here and see when he played real quick.
So he's not playing now?
No.
Wouldn't be Fuzzy Zeller.
No,
I think Fuzzy.
No, this guy. Okay. maybe this is a bad question. This guy played in the 20s and 30s.
Bobby Jones? No.
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 He's won plenty of majors.
Not Gene Sarazen. I don't know. Who was it?
Harry Cooper, English
Harry Cooper.
guy.
English guy. Yeah, that was a
All
bad
right,
question.
that one was a bad one. Here's one that's better. There are 3 players that have won 10 or more majors. Who are they?
Jack, Tiger, and I don't think Arnie has. It's not Gary Player?
No, it's before that group of guys.
Okay, so it's not Bobby Jones. Bobby Jones was an amateur.
It's that
time frame?
That time frame, yeah.
Not Gene Sarazen. I should know this.
I mean, he's pretty well known.
Oh, Ben Hogan.
Nope, not Hogan.
Not Hogan.
Not Hogan.
But that time frame or a little before?
Pretty sure. Let me see here. Let me see.
Hogan's what?
When Hogan was
50s, 40s, 50s.
Yeah, Hogan was 40s, 50s, so a little bit before that. This guy was kind of more 30s, 40s.
Did he design golf courses afterwards? Is his name? I don't know who it is. I got 2 or 3. I got
2 out of 3. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he designed any courses or anything like that.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, if you know the third, go ahead and help us out here. Drop your answers down in the comments without looking them up. All right. I mean, it's easy to look them up, but I should have known it, but I just can't remember the guy. As soon as we get off the air, I probably will, but that's the way it rolls. All right. Now we're going to go on to the fun stuff. Maybe Game 2 is tonight. We're coming to you Wednesday night, Game 2 of the wild card playoff game with the Reds. We're going to talk a little bit about Game 1 and then what the Reds have to do, obviously, in Game 2. But Game 1, everything was lining up for us, right? We snuck in. We got Hunter Greene going back to Southern Cal, pitching in Dodger Stadium on his full rest. What could go wrong? Well, everything went wrong. He couldn't locate 4th pitch of the ball game. Ohtani turns on a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, and it just got out of here. That was disappointing, but I think our next bats, our first bat, and then our next bat against Blake Snell, where we saw a total of, I think it was 16 pitches in 2 innings. 7 pitches in the first, and I think 9 pitches in the second. And I know what they were trying to do. They were trying to jump early, his fastball early, attack early, but he's crafty enough to say, oh, you're swinging early. I'm not throwing you anything close. And that we were getting ourselves out on some things. And, it wasn't until the bottom of the third that Matty McLean got that double and ignited some things. Had 2 runners on, and Marte struck out. And Marte is not in the lineup tonight. He's slumping big time. So first off, what's your thoughts of last night, and then we'll talk about Game 2 keys here in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, Greene gave up the leadoff home run. I don't remember how many earned runs he ended up being charged with.
5. He gave up 5 and 3.
So, I mean, you can't have that. I mean, you just can't in any playoff game, let alone from your quote-unquote ace.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, if you look at the scores of all the other games, they were 2-1, 3-1 ball games. Zach Cozart had a tweet. He was like, that's what aces do. You look around the playoffs, Game 1 is always the lowest scoring. Why? Both teams are throwing their ace.
Yep,
and
exactly.
You give up 10.
5. Give up 5
Greene 5. Yeah, 10 for the team. But yeah, Greene gave up 5. I mean, you look at the Reds. The Reds scored 5 runs, which was the second most of any team that played yesterday.
Yeah.
They just gave up the most. Of course, that's the Reds' luck. But yeah, I mean, you can't have that from your ace in the playoffs. You just can't. And they're going with Latrell tonight, which I'd have thrown Abbott. I'd have changed it up and said, Abbott, you're going.
Yep.
I'd have told him last night. I'd have changed it up
because
the thing, I mean, you can't go out on your worst pitcher. You just can't do it.
Well, it needs to be. Crawley and I were discussing this thing this morning, and it was that same thing. It's like everybody, all hands are on deck. You have to win this game tomorrow. If you throw Abbott
tomorrow,
you figure it out tomorrow. Tomorrow can be a bullpen game. Everybody goes 1 inning. Who cares? Then you get a couple. You get a day or 2 off for the NLDS. But you have to win this game, and Littrell needs to be on a very, very short leash. And Crawley goes, once he gives up the perfect game, he's coming out. Abbott's going in, and then Lodolo's pitching an inning, then whoever else is pitching, because it's exactly what happened in Milwaukee, right? You started the wrong guy in the last game of the year. You started Brady Singer, where if you started Hunter, he may or may not have did any better. You would think he would, since he's your quote unquote ace. Then you save Lodolo for game 1 against LA. I just don't understand. I do understand it in a way that Terry Francona has faith in his pitching staff, but he needs to be on a very short leash. He cannot go into the 4th inning giving up 4 runs like Brady Singer did.
No.
If there's 2 guys on base,
you got to get him out.
You got to get him out.
And he gets 9 batters. That's in my opinion, that should be his max. You don't let Shohei, Freeman, Betts see him twice. He goes through the lineup once. If that's 2 innings, great. If it's an inning and a third, you got to get him out.
Well, if it's an inning and a third, then we're in trouble.
Oh, right. Then he probably honestly should have been out before that anyways.
Right.
He's giving us runs.
So what else are we, I think we got to come out early and score some runs.
We have to score first. I think we have to put a little bit of pressure on them.
Sal Stewart's in the lineup playing first base. Spencer Steers batting second, playing left field. Austin Hayes is playing right field. It's pretty much all right-handers, but TJ Friedel is. And we got, what's his name on the mound? The Dodgers lefty. Is it Yomamoto or something like that?
Yeah, I don't remember which ones. They got
one of them.
3 Japanese guys. One of them's a lefty. Yeah.
Yeah. We got to, we're never good against left-handed pitching. I don't know why we're not. I don't know. I don't know. You should be able to hit left-handed pitching if you're right-handed. You should be salivating.
Yeah.
You should be.
They're awful against lefties. Yeah.
They are. They've been awful against lefties for years. And I don't know what it is, but we've got to score first, and we got to score a bunch first. We got to get up 2-3-0, because the Dodgers are going to come back. Because
right. It takes a little pressure off of Latrell, but a little whatever pressure you can put on the defending champs, right?
Right.
Puts that in their direction, and maybe you get up 5. All right, we're going to throw our worst reliever out of the pen, rather than 1 or 2 where they're still going to bring in their guys out of the pen that to keep it a 1 or 2 run game.
Right.
Maybe you can jump on them early. They punt this, and then it's game 3.
Anything can happen in game 3.
Yeah, I do want to know why Terry Francona did not pinch hit for Brian Hayes with the bases loaded in the 8th, just to then bring in Sal Stewart as a defensive replacement. Anyways, You're going to bring him in the game. Why not let him hit? Why is Brian Hayes, who is literally, no joke, literally by the numbers, the worst hitter in baseball? Okay.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy we want up in a clutch situation.
Yeah, I don't know why Sal hasn't been playing all this time.
I don't get it either.
You bring in Hayes as a defensive replacement for Sal Stewart in the 7th inning or 8th inning.
That should have been what it was the second Sal Stewart was called up.
Right.
By that time, you had a large enough
same thing for McLean. Because Sal can play second, right, or first base, or wherever you put Sal. But you gotta let him play. You gotta let him hit. He's got to hit.
He's when he got called up, he's been your power back really, which is sad. Exactly. But he hit 5 or 6 homers. I think that was the most on the team in September.
Yeah, so, it is.
And go ahead.
I was going to say, and this is what I noticed between the Reds and the Dodgers. It's like the stars for the Dodgers came out and they said, yes, this is
why we make $40 million a year.
This is why we're the stars. We're going to take over this game. And Shohei hits that home run leading off. And which is, the Reds, to the Reds' credit, they have shut down Shohei during the regular season. In the 6 games that we played him. He batted like 1-something, had no home runs. I don't think he had any home runs. 4 or 5 strikeouts. I mean, he was not Shohei. But the bright lights come on, playoff baseball, buddy. This is why I get paid what I get paid.
Yeah, exactly.
The sad thing is if we win this game, I mean, we got to face him on the mound. It is what it is.
He's not going to go deep. You don't have to worry about that.
Right.
And I mean, the last time the Reds did face him, he gave up a couple runs. They hit him. He's one of those guys you have to hit him early in the count because once you get down and he can go to that splitter out of the zone.
Yeah, you're done. You're done. Exactly. All right. Well, another hour and first pitch tonight. Hopefully the Reds can do some damage in the first inning. We'll be bringing you hopefully next week talking about the Phillies series. Fingers crossed, because if the Reds go down tonight, there's not much hope
FCC,
on the horizon.
That's about it.
FCC is about it. Exactly. And maybe a little college football and wait for college basketball to roll around here. But that's going to wrap it up for us here on episode 140 of the Cincinnati Sports Scene Podcast. We want to thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and drop us a comment on your hot takes for the Reds, the Bengals, Bearcats, FC, whatever. If you follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcast from, and remember to email that trivia question. I need a little help to CincySportsScene@yahoo.com. Next week, we will be back with our Mount Rushmores, and it will be D, E, and F. And I think we're going to go with the Davis, Evans, and Ford as the names of those. So you don't want to miss that. Until next week, everybody take care.
Yep.